Welcome to week 4 of Turn Up Beardown. The Bears will take on the Detroit Lions in the NFC North rivalry game this week, and we're looking for a victory to get back on track. We got Matt Jansen here again with us this week with the
How we doing?
dogs barking in the background. We're doing great.
It's hostile out here because I've been very hostile the last week, just trying to wrap my mind around what in the world I watched on Sunday.
Yeah, maybe those are the Cleveland Browns in your backyard, just like they were in Justin Fields' backyard all day.
Dog pound was here.
Gosh. So actually, that reminded me. You remember that game where Jay Cutler got sacked? I think it was 8 times in the first half. In the first half, how's that possible? As bad as last week was, he got sacked 8 times in a half. Anyway, pretty sure he had a concussion. So sorry,
Yeah.
Jay.
I feel like he walked around pretty much every day with a concussion.
Yeah, probably not something we should joke about. Actually, while we're at it, Bears fans, Jay Cutler has his own podcast now. It's actually really interesting. I started listening to it the other night, so you should check it out. I have more of an appreciation for Jay after what we've been watching with quarterbacks the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 years since he was not our quarterback anymore. So,
Smoking.
yeah, we're playing the Lions this week. This usually is a victory for us, but I was just talking to you about this before we started. Last week, I forget, I think it was like week 14. This is before we went on that run of 3 games in a row. We lost to the Lions. Super embarrassing. We were up 30-20 or something with like 5 minutes left, and the Lions scored, and then we turned it over, and they scored again, and then we had an easy opportunity to score, and Allen Robinson didn't run for the first down, and then David Montgomery got stopped and was short. So looking to overcome that loss. You excited for this one?
Yeah, I mean that's a different team. I mean that's Stafford and Marvin Jones and maybe Galladay. I don't even know who was playing. We'll get to T.J. Hawkinson. I think he was on that team, but that game certainly felt like one of the biggest letdowns all year. In a game you think you could have, you needed down the stretch, but different team. They got a different head coach. I actually like their head coach now. I think it's exactly what they need. I think this is the best 0-3 team in the NFL, but I don't know.
Yeah,
that moves the needle.
They had good results. We were
Breaking
talking
news, but easily could be 1-2, 2-1.
Yeah.
Well, probably more 1-2. Yeah. Just we need to win more than they do. I mean, I know they don't have one, but we want to even stay competitive in the NFC North. It's got it. These games have to be had. I mean, we've already talked about our schedule down the stretch in the next 4 or 5 weeks are it's a very tough stretch of games.
Yeah.
Could lose all of those games. So any game you can get right now, you have to try to seize. So big game for us.
Yeah, I agree. And we were just talking about the schedule. It gets brutal these next 4 games. All playoff caliber teams between 3-0 and 2-1. I think even the next 5 because the Steelers are even further down there. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see this new look Lions team. They've played every team close. Last week they lost by a 66-yard field goal, and then they played the Packers close for half. Kind of came back against the 49ers, still lost by 8. But it'll be interesting to see. Will we be able to impose our will in this one? I'm not feeling very confident in us after last week, so we'll see what happens.
We got some key players here.
Yeah, we got some key players. Actually, got keys to the game first. We went off script there. So for the Lions, capitalizing on turnovers, if they can get some turnovers, though, dare I say it, we've been pretty smart with the ball. Field threw a pick and Dalton threw an interception, but I think that was our only 2 for the season so far. And then if the Lions' run defense can step up and make the Bears one-dimensional, that will bode well for them. And they also need to capitalize or, I guess, make the pivotal plays. And I think that's where the Lions have lost the last some of those close games. They just haven't been able to make those pivotal plays. It's really ruined the game for them. And then for us, offense has got to show up. We need to sustain some drives, whether that's early or late or all of the above. Get some chunk plays. We talked about that after last week's game just together, that we are like dead last in chunk plays, and I feel like everything takes forever for us to get down the field. And
We've
also
been dead. We've been dead last in chunk play since '89.
since 1921. And then lastly, for the Bears, establish the run. So those are the keys I'm looking at for the game. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, first and foremost, what does the game plan look like, and how are the tackles hold up? I think that's those are the two biggest issues for us last week, and there were obvious mistakes. They got a lot of scrutiny. Um, how are they going to respond? I mean, are they going to be if the tackles can hold up a little bit better, then whoever's back there, whether that's Dalton or Fields, I feel like I have a better chance to do what they need to do. Nagy wants to throw the ball. The passing game, like I said, has to be again. I just getting Justin Fields a couple throws early, easy, for first downs. I think can help him get in the rhythm. Third and fourth down are important, obviously. I mean, they're important downs every game, but we are 0 for 6 as a team on fourth down this year.
Brutal.
And Scotty, what do you think our third down conversion rate is right now?
I'll go 17%.
Ooh. Well, up to this point, we are 12 out of 37 for 32%. You know what team has the exact same third down conversion rate?
Maybe the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, that would be correct. The Detroit Lions, 11 for 34.
We're 32%. I feel like we're lower than that, honestly.
Well, honestly, I think a little bit of it was that Rams game has some sneaky, decent stat.
That's true.
So,
for sure.
But again, I think everybody would really like to see Monty get going early, have some big chunk runs, get the running game going to take pressure off. I mean, if Montgomery can run the ball, then that, in my opinion, I think takes less pressure off everybody, including Nagy, to call the right plays and figure out what they want to do and how to attack defenses.
I hope we can attack defenses this week. Last week we were definitely attacked.
Right. I'll say obviously Goff's a big piece. Does he have time to throw or not? If he has time to throw, he can pick. He can still make some throws. If he doesn't, then I think like we've done when he was with the Rams quite a bit. I think we can keep him at bay and make him make some mistakes. What's their running game going to look like? They got to control the ball. Can't turn it over. Obviously turnover battle is big. And again, their offense is leading our offense in every offensive category.
Wow,
it's not sad. Even close between the two either. So,
and I couldn't even think of many. I mean, I'm familiar with DeAndre Swift, the running back, and also Hawkinson. Right. And Jared Goff got traded, so I'm familiar with those three. But other than that, I can't think of many guys on the Lions teams that are impact players. And they got Galladay is now with the Giants, so he was definitely their biggest weapon before this year. So can't even really name their players, and yet they still have more offensive firepower according to stats than we do. That's just sad.
Well, and I mean, they're going to have to create some pressure off the edge. If they do that like the Browns did, I think they're going to be fine. I mean,
yeah,
we can't block that. So they're going to try to take A-Rob away and stuff the run.
Yeah.
So just a few points for them, and I know we're going to get to key players in a little bit, so we can talk about the Bears and the Lions in that capacity. So
yeah, that's what's next. So talking about those key players. For the Lions, I did list actually those three guys, Jared Goff, DeAndre Swift, and TJ Hawkinson. Last year, we had that incredible game week 1 where we were down 23-6 in the fourth, and Mitchell Trubisky led 3 straight scoring drives to win 27-23. Also, there was a nice dropped pass by DeAndre Swift with, 3 or 4 seconds left in the game. Mm-hmm. He catches that, we lose easily. And then Jalen Johnson made a nice play, but a lot of these guys have potential, have had some success against the Bears too here and there. Jared Goff actually has played really well the last 2 games when the Rams played the Bears. And then for us, I'm looking at Robert Quinn. He actually had a sneaky good game last week, and he's had a pretty solid season so far.
Yep.
I want to
Leads the
see
team.
more out of Mooney. I want to see him be a deep threat. He hasn't really caught a ball for maybe over 7 yards this year. And then again, the identity, it's 32. It all starts with the running back there. So those are my key players in this one. Um, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I have Monty and I have Mooney as well in mind. How can you not? The other question is Fields. If he does get the start, I think people are going to expect that the offense is going to look different. If Andy Dalton's a starter, then I think we already kind of know what it's going to look like. It's going to look like ball getting out quick and running the ball, and then a couple of deep shots. So
Yeah.
and as far as offense, like I said, Hawkinson I think is their premier pass catcher. Who are we going to match up on him? Is Eddie Jackson going to try and guard him? Because if Vildor's on him, he's going to tear him up. Excuse my language, but we're going to have to edit that out. And so if Hawkinson is out there, Vildor is going to be on him. He's going to tear him up. There you go.
Yeah,
That's a recoup.
for sure.
And how's their offensive line going to hold up? Again, don't really know much about their line. I know they have a center from Arkansas.
That's a good stat.
That's all
That's
you need.
deep right there.
That's all you need, honestly.
Raji must have told you that one.
Hey, that was a deep one.
Yeah, I was gonna put Justin Fields on as one of the key players, but as we both know, Nagy is not going to name a quarterback. It's going to be a game time decision, so we can't be for sure that Fields would be a key player. Could still be Andy Dalton, maybe even Nick Foles. Who knows?
Honestly, I mean, our line and their line are going to be the two determining factors with how ferocious our line is and how susceptible we are to looking how we did if you can rush us. So
yeah, I think it has been interesting this year, and this has been true of the last 2-3 years. Anytime we're playing a team where we know that they have the superior talent on the D line or quarterback or whatever, we end up struggling mightily. But usually when we play a team like the Lions, we play with them and we can get what we want out of the game. But when we go up against a solid team like the Rams or the Browns, it's really hard to watch because we see how weak we are.
Well, I mean, if you can't score in this league, you can't really beat a lot of teams. So, and just before you move on, a couple more key players again. Vildor in the slot, and how are they going to exploit that Eddie Jackson pressure? Our defense right now is giving up first downs on 49% of third downs.
Wow.
So that's pretty much 50%. 50% right now is the conversion rate on third down on our defense. So
that's really sad. But I would say through 3 games, I'm not disappointed with the defense. I know they gave up some big plays against the Rams, but they played really well against the Bengals. And Joe Burrow seems to be for real, in my opinion. Maybe that's too soon. And they also,
yeah.
And they played well against the Browns for a while. So,
what?
But our defense played well against the Browns for a while too. But
it did.
I will say though, the problem they run into is they can't get off the field on third down, and 49%. I'm not surprised. It's felt like every time.
Well, and you know what? Honestly, this week, can we blitz? Can we friggin' blitz? Blitz, man up, because they don't have anybody outstanding on the edge. And can we move Khalil Mack a little bit? And is Eddie Goldman going to play? That's the next question.
I'd love to see Eddie Goldman finally make an appearance.
Is he?
I haven't heard. I know he's been limited still, but I don't trust it just because of the fact that he could have potentially played last week and he didn't. So, yeah.
Deshaun Gibson's not going to play, it looks like.
That's not good. And we don't have a starting quarterback named. So, yeah. Anyway, we need to stay positive, though, on this show.
It looks like Eddie Goldman is going to play. Is this his debut? No, he played week 1, didn't he?
No, he hasn't played since 2019.
Debut.
He hasn't played since before COVID.
Mooney's going to play. He's a little banged up. Remember, he's got that groin.
Yeah.
We're not too bad.
Let's get into a little prediction. I think that the Bears are going to win this one 28-19. And if we do, that'd be awesome because that's more points than we've scored in any game this year. And since the Mitchell Trubisky era came to an end, dare I say it. But I'm hoping Justin Fields starts. He has a little more experience, is comfortable against a team like the Lions, and runs a little bit wild with just throwing the ball and doing things with his legs as well. And I think the Lions will make it interesting as they do. It is a rivalry game. Every time we play their Lions, it seems to be interesting, even though I feel like we've had better teams even in the past. But what do you got?
Right.
What are you thinking?
I got 24-17 Bears.
Oof.
First, couple stat lines. I got Goff for 200 yards passing, a touchdown and a pick. Swift 70 yards and a touchdown. And I think Hawkinson gets 50 yards, touchdown. I think Fields has a good day today. I think there's going to be optimism after Sunday. 250 total yards passing and running, and then 2 touchdowns, no picks. I think he comes out clean. A-Rob gets a touchdown. Monty 100 yards and a touchdown.
That'd be awesome.
I think what's going to happen is our defense is going to make some plays, and I think our offense at home is going to have some pride and show up. And I think we're going to have some success on the ground early, and that's what's going to lead us to get a little bit of a lead. Khalil Mack's going to make a terrific play like he does every week.
Yeah.
Bears 24-17 over the Lions, and we can at least feel good about one more week until we play the Raiders.
Yeah. Hey, so let's talk about some other predictions, not just the score. First, obviously, you already think Fields is going to play. I do too. I'm hoping for that. So we'll both say that Fields is playing. The next one is this: if the Bears lose, does Matt Nagy get?
Hey, pause that.
Pause.
Yeah, I'm pushing pause. Let's retake it. Let's totally retake it.
All right. If the Bears lose on Sunday, does Matt Nagy keep his job?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I know that'd be a big question, but I feel like we're to a spot here where ESPN literally had people calling for his job. But now if you go and lose to the Lions at home, I don't know how you come back from that.
I think if he starts Fields and loses, he's okay because again, it's a young quarterback and it kind of depends how they play. If he starts Andy Dalton and you lose, yes, he's getting fired. If you start Andy Dalton and then you end up losing, yes. But I feel like if you go with Fields, you're not. You got a little safety blanket there. Obviously, if you win, you don't. And I think if he wins with Fields here, and as long as it's not, ungodly down the stretch, I think this could be a point where this either saves his job from this point on or not.
Yeah, so, for sure.
It could be a big week. I think this
is
could
a huge game.
Either way.
It's a big game for him, and also the fact that we've said the team's coming up, and that I already said we don't play well against those solid teams. I think if win or lose this game, we're going to lose a lot of games in the next few weeks, most likely. I'm hoping it doesn't happen. Obviously, like I root for the Bears. I want them to win. I get frustrated when they don't win. But in reality, like I can also be understanding to the fact that we're playing really good teams and a good schedule, and we're not good enough yet in a lot of areas. The other thing I will say, though, is maybe Nagy doesn't get fired, but he loses his play calling abilities. And I think that needs to happen sooner rather than later. Because even last year, I know we played worse teams down the stretch, but it felt like we had more of an offensive identity and things were working in a good way. I just read that it said Nagy had a coach with his other, or had a meeting with his other coaches and his players, and he hopes that's going to fix the offense. And also another thing, Eddie Goldman is in for the game on Sunday.
Yeah, I saw that. I also heard that meeting was kind of like you said, people just, like I read, I mean, a bunch of players putting in their 2 cents to see how they can help the offense, and time will only tell. And I will say, like things like more RPOs with that throwing option for Justin Fields, some rollouts. Personally, I think in order for our receivers to maybe get some separation, really try to stretch the field with Jimmy Graham and Coach Matt. And I would say, why not run a double move early? I know you don't want to go do the double move but at least instead of it just messing with the DBs, I think it'll give our receivers a little bit of space if you show that you can burn them. I think they'll back up for a little bit, and that could help Justin get into a rhythm. That could also help the offense sustain a drive. Just not even hitting on that play, just kind of just letting the Lions defense know that Mooney, someone can get loose, behind that secondary, and naturally players are going to want to back up a little bit, a lot like how they treat Tyreek Hill. I'm not saying they're the same receiver. I'm just saying in that same capacity. But those are 3-4 ways I think that you can kickstart our offense and also tailor it to Justin better than what we did last. Better than what we call the college shoe salesman plan.
Yeah. Oh man, at least Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett won't be coming off the edge this week. Some people are saying that Justin Fields is having nightmares and he's seeing Myles Garrett in his sleep. 4.5 sacks in one game. That is insane. Like, we just put him in the Pro Bowl for the year. So,
Well, yeah, both of them.
gosh,
We just put both of them in the Pro Bowl.
that was hard to watch.
Oh, and again, I know we're winding down here, but offensive tackle, Peters and Ifedi got to do a better job. Just based on what I looked at stat-wise on NFL.com. Justin got sacked on 30% of our passing plays last week. 30%. So about every 3 plays he was getting sacked in the passing game.
Wow. And he was probably rushed every other pass. So
there were a lot of hurries.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Man.
Well, another good week of turn up, bear down.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. It'll be fun sending the voice text and the text during the game and voicing our celebrations, but also our frustrations. But ultimately, I feel like this is one we should win, and I'll be disappointed if that is not the case, and we're not 2-2 after 4 games. So,
right,
yeah.
Well, I'll be looking forward to next year if we don't pull this off.
Oh my God.
That's the way we gotta be.
That's so far away, so far away, with minimal picks. So.
All right, Bears fans. Thanks for tuning in, listening to Scott and I just ramble.
Yeah.
Beardown. Let's go, baby. Bear Nation. We need this one.
Another good week. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later.